podcast. I've got another stellar individual ready to tell us about the dark times, the good times, and what's coming on the horizon, what the future looks like, because that's what we're about. We're about figuring out what comes next after we've gained some traction in sobriety. And so today I'd like to welcome Lauren Fay. Thanks for coming on, Lauren.
Yes, thanks for having me. Great lead in too, because it's so important to forward look.
Right.
What's
right.
next?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. I love to think about the future because it's bright, and but that's not where we're going to start, right? We want to know about the dark. We want to know about the dark shit. We want to know about the horrible things that you've done. That sounds a bit bleak, but yeah, tell us about what rock bottom looked like for you.
Oh, I definitely hit a rock bottom. So I've been alcohol-free, sober for 6.5 years now. My sober date is, January 25th, 2018. So I wasn't one of those new year, new me. I was almost all the way through January before I decided to get sober. And, a little bit of history. I thought alcohol was great. I started drinking young because it tasted good. I was a great, straight A student in high school. I was an athlete, captain of the cheerleading squad, all of that, but I would party on the side,
Okay.
So I just always...
So, you said it tasted good. You really think that? Like you were that age and you were like, oh, this natural light beer, I can't wait to drink all this.
It was the super sweet wine coolers. Yeah. Okay. That's what my parents drank, and I would take a sip, and I'd oh my god, this is really, because it's pure sugar.
All right, now I don't mean to date you, but are you familiar with Zima? Okay, good. All right, I'm way older than you. Don't worry about it. So, go ahead. I mean,
well, that one is honestly, I don't even remember the name of the ones I did drink. Like you said that, and I'm I don't even know what the names are anymore. See that.
You were going through the Rolodex,
I'm what are they even called anymore? Yeah. So basically, I thought they were good. Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, it was fun. I was oh, this is tasty. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I remember my first, Everclear shot, and I hit the floor. That shit burned I'd never experienced before, so it's not it's all good. But long story short, I went to college. I actually went to a college notorious for being a party school, but I think all universities are really at the end of the day. And it was my taste of freedom. And I oh my God, my freshman year partied my face off and have a lot of cringeworthy moments that if there was an undo button, I would probably undo. But then actually I had an incident with alcohol that wasn't so great. And so I actually tapered off of it and got myself an eating disorder instead. So just traded one thing for another. But I picked back up my drinking after graduating college and getting a corporate job that I was so unhappy in. It amazing salary, especially being fresh out of college. I bought a house. I was contributing to 401k, but I was so miserable, and I was drinking a lot, and I was living alone because I bought a house. I was living alone, and that's when I realized
so you're checking off boxes.
Yeah.
Right. And this is I'm super familiar. I think a lot of people are. It's you can perpetuate the problem if you check off enough boxes. Did I go to work today? Yeah. Are the bills paid? Yeah. Am I not horribly ill? Check. It's okay, time to let it rip. I'm gonna down this bottle, right? So
just exactly, doing all the things I thought I was supposed to do and earned that drink but then going to a job I already didn't hungover was just a terrible way to live, but I did notice, I was okay, something's not right here, because it was who I was behind closed doors was I didn't want anyone to know that side of me. I was very self-aware of my image and the image I portrayed and who everyone thought I was. And so it was
so
a secret.
Let me ask, did you drink alone a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was the type of woman that when I went out, I actually didn't like to be drunk in public. I was very controlled. I had moments where I partied too much and clearly was intoxicated, but I would drink at home. And so I would drink before going out, and then I would drink more when I got home. And so a lot of my drinking was behind closed doors. And I didn't know that was a bad thing until I talked to a woman. She was like, "Oh, I never drink alone." And I was like, "Oh, like I do."
Yeah.
I didn't. Are you not supposed to?
It's so tough when you get bounced off of like. I remember like telling people like how many drinks I had like on average at a bar, and then just like most people like, what? You know, like 12? Like what the hell's wrong with you? And I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's like not normal. Like it's hard.
I like to call myself like I was like a snooty alcoholic. Like I was a socialite of the town that I lived in, and I would drink high end, vodka martinis and expensive red wine. So I wasn't, you hear that term garbage can. I didn't just drink anything that was handed to me. If someone gave me a Smirnoff mixed drink, I wouldn't drink it. Like I'm not going to drink that crap,
Right.
So I did kind of have that like sophisticated excuse to my drinking. Like, well, I'm a sophisticated drinker, and I'm not licking off the bar floor type drinker.
So just to paint the picture, if you don't mind, like what town are we talking about? You said that you were in this town. Like, what is the city? Is it the city? Which city?
Yeah, so it's outside. At this point in my life, I was right outside of Seattle.
Okay.
And the corporate job that I was working, I was like one of two females, and I was new to town, and I just got like accepted into the cocktail scene, into the happy hour scene by men that wanted to just buy me drinks, and take care of me. And I let it happen. So it was an interesting 2 years for sure, when I went from like, I wouldn't drink on a work night to now I'm going and having martinis after work. And now I'm drinking more wine at home and hungover a lot. And so I ended up quitting that job. And it was one of those decisions where I knew no one was going to understand why. I even got offered a pretty significant raise to stay, and I still left because I finally was like, no, I'm just not happy. And I was dating a Marine at the time, and he got orders to Hawaii, and I actually grew up on Hawaii. So I went with him, and I felt like I was going home, And what I didn't realize, though, is that I brought my drinking habits with me. Like wherever you go, there you are. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much deployed right away. And I was drinking a lot alone. I didn't know anyone. Plus in Hawaii, everything's a permission slip to drink. You're at the beach, you're hiking, you're kayaking, you're stand-up paddleboarding, whatever, you're drinking. So it progressed. And that was my first moment where someone noticed, where my sister asked me, or no, she didn't ask me, she commented, because we were going on an adventure. She came to visit, her and her husband, and I'm like, what do you want to put in the cooler? And she was like, Lauren, like not everything has to involve alcohol. Really? And I just remember being embarrassed, honestly, and called out, and then almost like witnessed in my drinking problem.
Right.
So that I'll like always remember that memory. But yeah, so my drinking definitely, it like changed way. It was like behind closed doors in Hawaii, and then I ended up getting a great friend group, and so then it became social drinking. And then I left the Marine and fell in love with a surfer. And
nice.
Yeah, so much fun, like best time of my life, literally.
I'm imagining all these beefcakes, it's like we got the military guy in his like pressed clothes, and now we've got the guy with like no clothes, all tan.
All tan, long blonde hair, gorgeous. Turns out he was an alcoholic. And I didn't know that, like, if I were to label myself, that I was too at the time, but I was nothing like him. And the way that he drank shocked me. Like I had never seen anything like it. I found his hidden stash of empty bottles, and I was like, I'd never seen anything like it before. So my problem didn't compare to his problem, right?
Ooh.
Like something.
That's a slippery slope.
Exactly.
And honestly, like I was always the lead asshole. I was always taking the spotlight. So in this scenario, like I'm the guy like going way too far. But what did I notice like years later? A lot of people that were close to me that also had issues they could use me as the benchmark. Like, oh, well, look at that guy. I'm not that guy, so I'm all right. So it's an interesting part of the story. And okay. So you're seeing him.
Yeah.
But now correct me if I'm wrong, but now you're basically telling yourself that you're good because he's so bad.
And that he needs to get his drinking under control. And the other thing that happened, though, because of this relationship was we enabled one another. So suddenly my like private drinking relationship became, oh, I can do this with a partner and not be judged. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Green light to drink whenever, however much I wanted. And so that was unfortunate, right? We kept it going. Eventually the two of us relocated back to Seattle, and I say back to Seattle because that's where I moved from. He wasn't from Seattle, but he came back with me to open and run a gym in literally downtown Seattle. And we had been running a gym together in Hawaii, and they closed very quickly. And here I was thinking I had found my calling. I was finally happy. I knew exactly what I wanted to do for my livelihood. And it just got closed right out pulled right out from under my feet. So in a very short amount of time, like a matter of weeks, gym closes, identity crisis, we take the job in Seattle, we move. I mean, it happened so fast, and I didn't want to go. So that was a time in my life where I said yes when I really wanted to say no. And pretty much it was a very quick downhill trajectory from that point forward. Yeah. Right. Plus in Seattle, I got into cocaine. So with him, it never even crossed my radar. I was scared to death of it, but it's just a commodity in Seattle. It's just like you have your table red wine, you've got your table cocaine. Like, it's just what everyone does in Seattle. And I finally felt brave enough one night to try it, like literally brave, if that's the word you want to use with it. I thought I was going to die. And of course, like many people who have their first cocaine experience, it was the best thing ever.
Right.
Right.
And I've gotten into this subject matter because like some people light up about different substances more than others. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I could see somebody if say we're doing meth and like I'm doing the same thing they are, but like they have this twinkle in their eye and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. That's not good. Like, so-and-so liked it a little bit too much. And they're the first one, hey, can we call the guy again? And I'm like, oh boy, like this is taking a turn for the worse. And that's you in this scenario. Am I right?
Well, that was my partner in this scenario. So the guy I was dating liked it. I mean, I was scared when I would see his eyes. Like, he liked it so much. And so I enjoyed my night. And because he was always willing again to do it, I was like, okay, I'll keep doing it with you because I don't not like it. And I'm not trying to cast blame on him. I have free will. I have power of choice. I could have said no, but I said yes and I participated. But that obsession was just something we fought about a lot, where it was like taking over his life, which of course then started to infiltrate into my world. And we just fought all the time. Like, we were just constantly at war with one another. And that was the breaking point, was an explosion that led to my arrest, which is like plot twist, and never seeing the guy again from that point forward. So
wait, hold on a second here.
Like, we need more details.
Like, come on, like, what did you take a hammer to him, or what happened?
If I had known I was going to get arrested, I would have hit harder. Let's just say. So
got it.
It was it was a night of an eruption, and I was like, how am I ever going to get out of this relationship? I was totally trapped. And he was an angry alcoholic, an angry cocaine user, and so it was just a big blow up. And finally, I felt brave enough to call the police. And I was like, this has to end. You have to go. But during the altercation, like, I shoved him. And so I got arrested because I was the one that made the physical contact. And they have to take someone.
They have to take somebody. Yeah.
Shocked. I had no idea I was going to be arrested.
Right.
But what it did was it got me out of the situation. It got me out of the situation.
Blessing, yeah.
Literally. I mean, I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know if I was up against like domestic violence charges. I mean, it was a terrifying experience for me, but it got me out of the situation. While I was in jail, he left town and I never saw him again. So
interesting.
Yeah.
How long were you in there?
2 nights.
2 nights. That's long enough.
Long enough. I was like, was it 3 nights? It was 2 nights. Yeah, it was long enough. But I remember, like, I actually slept really well. I felt safe. It was an interesting, it was an interesting experience. With all that being said, though, yeah, I get out.
You get out.
He's gone, and I feel like I can take on the world. Like, I'm free. But I was also left in a financial predicament where we had 2 paychecks going to our one bougie apartment, and now suddenly it's all my responsibility, and things just got overwhelmingly stressful. And I went back to that drinking behind closed doors routine.
Right.
And then I also continued to use cocaine. So that was about a year of just going down and down and down and down and down. And I didn't know what to do. I literally, I wasn't going to die from cocaine. I wasn't going to die from alcohol, but my mental health was so dark and low that I didn't know the way out. And of course you can imagine, like, I only thought of one way out from that point. And it was just, it shocks everyone that hears my story because no one knew. Like, no one knew I was that low. Again, who Lauren was behind closed doors is not who Lauren, like, it's not the Lauren people saw. So it was almost more debilitating to live such a secretive double life than actually letting people see my pain and suffering and maybe have an intervention with me.
Right. So you're like a functioning depressed person who also likes cocaine and booze
and alcohol.
I know that's a nasty combination for sure.
It was terrible. I just would never go back. So I ended up having an intervention with myself, and it was me and me alone at night. Option A, option B, and it was like, I got to get help. It was just clear as day. Like, I don't actually want to die, but I don't, nor can I continue living the way I'm living. So I checked myself into a treatment center because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't need a medical detox. I wasn't homeless. I wasn't broke. I wasn't jobless. Like, I wasn't any of the things. I wasn't court ordered. I was just like, I have to get out of my current environment. So I'm going to go do this thing. And I put myself into it before I even told anyone I was going.
Right. So it's so wild. What I'm gathering is that you're a bit of an introvert, but like you speaking to me, like on this show, you're extroverted, but like this seems like at some point you had to probably crack that shell and stop being an introvert, because the journey is a lot of introvert like behaviors and a lot of hiding and things of that nature. But wow, I mean, the courage to go that solo is amazing. That's amazing. So you draw a line in the sand and you go into treatment. So all right. So what does that look like?
That looked like me literally feeling as if I was walking into my freedom and that I had taken my life back. I mean, I felt so empowered. It was just like, I'm finally free from the prison, self-imposed prison I had created for myself. And I truly was that empowered. Like, I was annoying to people at treatment because they had to be there. They were court ordered. They were fuck this shit. And I'm like, aren't you so excited to be sober? Like, aren't you so excited to be done with that way of living? And they were like, oh my God, shut up. Right. But before I got sober, I was also really strengthening my spiritual practice. I was doing a lot of meditation and learning about, like, like reading A Course in Miracles, reading Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Debbie Ford. So I was kind of getting into that metaphysical world before sobriety. So once I cut out the alcohol, I just felt like I had blossomed into this,
Right. So you were doing the asking, you were doing the search already.
Yeah.
but you still didn't have the clarity.
Yeah.
And you still kind of had the monkey on the back.
Yeah.
But the seeds were there, and so that's a glorious part of the journey, and that's pretty cool. So how long were you in treatment for? Or what
it was
did
a
that look like?
it was a 21-day deal, and then afterwards, again, I'm not court ordered. I don't have to be there. I don't have to follow any of their protocols, but they were like, why don't you go live in a sober house now? Like, that's the next step. And I was like, okay, no. But then eventually I said yes. And I ended up living in a women's sober house for a full year with 10 women. And it was the craziest experience of my life. I don't, like, in hindsight, would I do it again? I don't know. It worked for me. It helped me stay sober, I suppose, but it challenged me and it forced me over and over and over again to just have like healing after healing after healing, because it was so triggering. It was so frustrating. The personality conflicts and the entitlement and the victimhood and the self-loathing and it was bizarre.
That's crazy. So you could have left. You could have left anytime.
I could have left at any time.
You didn't.
Yeah, but I stayed.
Nuts.
I just said, nuts. Like, just give it a year, Lauren. Just give it a year. But I look back and I wonder, not that one journey is better than the other and everyone has their own path, but I felt truly free in my sobriety. Now, don't get me wrong. I had to process all of my limiting beliefs, and not all, do you ever get all of them? But I had to process my limiting beliefs. I had to process my resentments and all of that. But I lost the craving and the desire for alcohol the night I decided to stop drinking. It was like a miraculous, spontaneous sobriety, because I saw it for what it was, and I was never going to be who I wanted to be or feel how I wanted to feel if I kept doing the thing. But I was living amongst women who were every day white knuckling it, and every day having to lock themselves in their bedroom so that they wouldn't go drink. And it was just so bizarre to me. Like, why do I feel like I can go take on the world? I started my own business in my first year of sobriety, to this woman can't even leave the house she can't trust herself to go outside.
Right.
And I think the biggest difference really was that I decided for myself, I didn't want the thing anymore, versus I can't have the thing anymore. That's a big difference.
What a distinction. That's a big distinction. And I say it often, every person's so unique, and there's so much packed into every substance abuse problem. And then also coupled with that unique problem is a unique journey and solution. And so hearing yours, I mean, it's why I would say it's even more rare did they kind of give you shit because they knew that you didn't have to be there, or did you get, because you were different than them and you weren't white knuckling it as did they give you feedback about that? Like, was it hard?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't want to sit here and like play the victim by any means, but I would definitely say there was a little bit of a target. Like, my will to live was kind of threatening their struggle to live. And while I would like to have hoped that I could be witnessed as a possibility portal, like, this is what's possible for you too, it was more, I can't have that, so I'm going to hate the person that has it. So it was kind of rough and pretty uncomfortable, honestly.
I love that possibility portal. Very cool.
Let me show you, just by let my way of living show you that this is possible for you too.
Right. Now, but what I do know is that if they're not ready to see it, then they're not going to see it. That's an unfortunate circumstance, if that is the circumstance, and that's really up to each individual themselves. So you spend a year in this sober house, and then was there like a graduation, or did you just say, like, I'm out of here?
No, if you're not court ordered, then you go and come whenever you want. Not literally. I mean, you don't just get to, it's an application process, but you can leave whenever you want. You don't have to stay for a certain amount of time.
Year goes by, you're out. Well, now what? Like, where did you said you started a business in your first year of sobriety, so I'm imagining we can, so is that where we're at now? You're in that business? Okay.
Yeah,
What does
basically.
that
I
look
mean,
like?
it's changed the way it's looked a little bit, but basically so pre-sobriety, I told you I was into metaphysical stuff. So I was also receiving Reiki energy healing before I got sober as a way to try to
Nice.
understand why I was suffering so much. And so I had a very deep connection with energy work. And as soon as I got sober, I immediately got my certification, and then got a business license and opened my own practice. And because I was so vocal with my story of addiction, a lot of the clients that came to me were like, hey, I wouldn't go to a treatment center, or I wouldn't go to AA, or I wouldn't call myself an alcoholic, but I'm having these problems and maybe energy work can help me. And so my practice actually took off very quickly, because of the clients that were coming in just based on me being very vulnerable with my story. And of course, COVID happened. And so the brick and mortar location had to close. And my business was really thriving off of in-person, appointments. And so I transitioned to coaching, which can be online and you can take it anywhere in the world, just like so many people transitioned to online in 2020. And I've been online ever since, with empowerment coaching. So now I specifically work with people who want to rebuild their lives after their relationship, with alcohol ends.
Yeah. Same. That's what I like. I'm big on, again, being future oriented. And so because I found myself like, I was like, okay, I can breathe now. Like I got myself like, I'm like, all right. And it was, if I could give it like a time frame, I would say things really started to shift at like a year of sobriety. I think both, internally, but maybe even more externally, like objectively, people were kind of treating me a little bit more legitimate in the journey at about a year. Maybe, people just hear like 2 months, it doesn't, they still don't believe you for shit. They still think like, okay, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. And then, even doctors, I'm talking about even doctors are starting to like say, oh, okay, they're, he's serious. And so, I know that I started wondering like, well, what do I do now? Because, I'm an addict. I have all this damn energy and I need moderation is not in it. It's not in the cards for me. So I needed to find out what happens next. I had to develop something. And so again, you're working with people who are, becoming empowered on the other end of either, well, basically they've had some success with sobriety and they've kind of released the substance use or abuse, and now they're developing other skills and another lifestyle. So if somebody were to come and ask you for help, like what are some of the methodologies, or like what are your methods that you like to, you're a coach obviously, but where do you start?
The first place to start is looking at their relationship to alcohol. So as you know, you can stop drinking alcohol and still want it, or have the cravings for it, or still desire it, or still believe that it's important in some way, shape, or form. Important to be social, important to be, whatever, fill in the blank. And so I like to work with women who have already decided to stop drinking, because, I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. And so that's a very touchy ground to work with someone who maybe needs, mental health work or medical detox. So if they've already decided to stop drinking alcohol, maybe they've already stopped, and now it's like, now what? And I mean, that's like the number one question, like, now what? And that's why for me, I was like, now what? And they're like, go live in a sober house. I'm like, okay. Like, now what? Right. So that the woman, like, she hasn't lost everything, but she has recognized that alcohol was negatively impacting many areas of her life, and it was a problem to her. And it's as simple as that. So we have to look at what the problem is, like how it was a problem, what areas of the life it was impacting, and what is your relationship to it? What are your beliefs around it? What are your thoughts around it? Why is it important to you? And when we start to look at the thoughts and the beliefs and the mindset around alcohol, then you can move past it and start to see other things in your life to focus on. But I really specifically like to work with women who are changing their relationship to alcohol, because unless you've gone through it, you can't understand it. it's like, it's an experience that's not comparable to anything, right? And so I like to be there for the women that are going through that, particularly because it's like, me too. I went through it too.
Yeah, I can say that, I do say it often, is that I feel that I have a responsibility to help people that are in hard circumstances, tough circumstances, that I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that it's my responsibility, so, and I think as people, if we solve or find a solution, right? Because I don't have the solution, I have a solution. But if I have found that, and I think that, or I can show that it works, it's my responsibility to share it. And so I think that, you're you're in a perfect position because you really do understand. And that shows like it comes through so quickly. Am I right? Like, it's like, damn. Okay. I know I'm talking to somebody, and, maybe by the words that you use, or just like, all the different cadences in our conversations, like, we can tell whether or not somebody has really felt shitty or not. And like, and when they say, like, when you explain it, it makes all the difference in the world of whether or not they're going to be successful by that rapport. And so
completely concur.
You mentioned like, not being a doctor, because I've run into this, and it's tough. I struggle with it when people like reach out on Facebook, or they reach out to my website, and they think that I'm like a recovery, or like I'm a rehab, and so they're like, oh, I need help, and I never say no. I never tell them like, I can't help you, because I can help them with something. Totally. I can find them a resource. I can get them a phone number. I can, shoot them a text. I'll even hop on a call. I'll help them with something. But I feel like sometimes people get it misconstrued that like, you and we're not doctors. I cannot treat you on some levels, which is why I also work with people that have gotten a little bit of traction in sobriety, because if you're going through withdrawals, in alcohol, you can die, and I'm not in a position to do much about that, right? So
exactly. Right. And it's just so important, because we get to turn our pain into purpose, and we do now get to coach, right, and inspire people and motivate people and give them tools and strategies. Like, I'm full of strategy, and a lot of my strategy are in hindsight, like what I would have done instead, or what I wish if I knew that this was available for me then, I probably would have gone this route. So I'm a holistic alcohol-free empowerment coach. And so I get to teach them a way, not the way. And if it works for them, it does. If not, they go find something else. But it's important that we stay in our lane, right? Otherwise, it's reckless. But it's very true that there is always a level of support, whether it's passing off a resource or just encouraging them to make the call to wherever they need to check themselves into, maybe, or so with coaching, it's like, I am here to share my story, let it inspire you, help you get your click, help you get some tools in place so that you can take action. But at the end of the day, it's always up to the person for their own level of success. Like, no one can get you sober except you. And it's up to the person to continue it moving forward in their life, and to maintain the level of freedom that they desire for their life, for their lived experience. And if someone goes back out, okay, they have free will, they can do what they want. It's a little bit like, oh, I wish they wouldn't, but they get to do what they want. And it's not my responsibility, but my responsibility is absolutely to show up and to be of service to the best of my capacity that is within my my expertise.
Right. Service. I think that's you and I both share that the desire to provide service. And, I'm super curious about the promise. I saw. I know that it's a part of how you operate. So, but what does it mean though? And what is it like? Is it a masterclass, correct?
Yeah, it's a free masterclass. I think it's only like 30 minutes long, but basically, so again, I work with women because I'm a woman, so it's like I can relate. Right. But there are a lot of women that don't believe the problem is big enough for them to make a change, and so then you stay stuck, And so what I want
Right.
to do is show them like, hey, this is available to you. Like you, again, you don't have to be broke. You don't have to be homeless. You don't have to be jobless. You don't have to be disheveled, any of those things, and have a problem with alcohol because you define your problem to alcohol. And so when you define that problem, but you don't make a change, you're basically saying, I'm not now available for all of this that's possible for me. So the
Right.
promise is just telling women, this is possible for you. This is available for you if you decide to make a shift, if you decide to change this relationship to alcohol. And because, again, I work with women after they've already made that decision. And
Right.
so
Right.
these women haven't made the decision yet. I'm showing them what's available for them. Then they make the decision. And then we like hop on a phone call
Right.
together.
Right. And then you're off to the races.
Off to the races.
And I can say that it strikes a chord in me that the whole like not real or not thinking that the problem's big enough to do anything about is, I believe, the words that you used.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like they're kind of limping along.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell people that I'm a little bit grateful that like I'm such a maniac. I'm so aggressive about every damn thing. Like I took drugs and alcohol to the pinnacle, right? I went to the summit and I went so hard and then I came down crashing so ridiculously bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful for that because had it not happened, if it wasn't so abundantly clear that I was at rock bottom, like, I mean, there was no argument. Like denial was gone a long time ago. It's like, your life is fucked, man. and there was no denying it. But that was my gift because I think it's worse. What you're talking about is worse, where it's holding you back, but it's not being acknowledged. And you kind of get through your day, but you're only at like 50% or whatever it is, 60%. You could be more, but it's not that big of a deal. It's only a bottle of wine or whatever it is. And then so you live a life of like either mediocrity or you don't realize your potential. That terrifies me. And so I think that's powerful that you're helping people to say like, okay, yeah, you're not incarcerated and you haven't, you don't go home and like beat somebody, but guess what? You could be better and you can show them how. Am I right?
You could be better and you can feel better and you don't have to sign off on good enough. And this isn't getting into like a perfectionism debate. It's just like, why be good enough when your life can be great? And that's why I brought up cocaine in my share, is because honestly, if I hadn't had gotten into that relationship with cocaine, I don't think I would have gone downhill as fast as I did. I know I wouldn't have gone downhill as fast as I did. And so I don't think I would have stopped drinking alcohol when I did. It was like, it just took me down so fast, very similar to you. It was just like, I crashed and burned. And so not everyone's going to have that. And that's what's sneaky. It's like, you don't have to have a crash and burn rock bottom to make a change. And if you expect that you need to, then you won't make a change because you're always going to be waiting for it to be so bad. And it's like, why wait for it to get so bad when you can start having a great life now? Why wait? Why wait? Yeah.
That's super powerful. And in my mind, I'm just going through the Rolodex of people that I know. It's like things haven't gotten that bad. And it hurts my heart to I want to like pull them forward and just like, come on, like there's so much more and we can do it. And it's like, you don't have to be that person who's just like, oh, I can't wait for 5 o'clock somewhere. It's like, screw that. That's
living for the drink.
Lame.
Oh, I know. So, it's just all consuming.
Right.
Yeah.
So Lauren, we in addition to the coaching, we touched on the promise. What do you have going on in the future? What can we look forward to seeing from you and what you're all about?
Thanks for asking. I mean, next on my list is writing a book, and it has been moving through me. I am a writer. I love writing. I love spoken word and written word, and I share through speaking. And so you said that, like, the introverted comment, and it's not untrue. While I love vulnerability and I thrive on sharing my voice, I am kind of a relatively reserved private woman. And so it's like, oh, I'll put myself out there on podcasts and I'll tell my deepest, darkest secrets in a book. But I'm not going to show you what I'm eating for breakfast on Instagram. Like, that's just not.
Does it make you nervous? Does that?
Well, I started writing a chapter the other day where it was a story and I was like, whew, vulnerability hangover. Not that I mean, literally I'm an open book and people know that I will share anything about my journey, anything, literally. But then to know that it's going to potentially reach the masses, it's like, okay, buckle up. Like, here we go.
Right.
But when I'm unfiltered on Instagram, and that one, you don't even know who you're talking to on Instagram. Like, it just goes. So, so that's what's next. Is I'm really excited, and I don't have like a timeline or a release date, but I'm assuming in 2024 a book will be written. And just continuing, like, I love to pull women together and have group coaching experiences because there's a lot of power in getting women in the room together.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep doing that. And I love, I love public speaking. So any opportunity at the beginning of my sobriety, I was going to treatment centers and speaking at the treatment centers.
Oh, wow.
So any opportunity I have to public speak, I'm like, sign me up. I'm all for it. It's my jam.
So when you're talking about these, you're doing in-person women's groups? I
do both. I do in-person and online. So local women will gather, because not everything I do is alcohol focused. So again, I still practice Reiki energy work. I still am a sound practitioner, guided meditations. I teach yoga. So I can gather women in the empowerment bucket and not have it be niche to alcohol.
I see. Yeah. No, I've never done Reiki. I'm fascinated by it, and now I've spoken to several people that either perform it or it's just like I feel like I'm being guided.
You're getting nudged.
I'm getting nudged by the universe to say, hey man, I won't even talk about it because that's how ignorant I am about it. I won't even speak on it at all. But now my curiosity is through the roof, and so now what I'll do? I'll go overboard. I'll do it like every day for like.
Yeah. I mean, you can't ever have too much Reiki, so knock yourself out. If you're going to trade one addiction for another, trade it for your energy work.
And that's words to live by. You can never have too much Reiki, ladies and gentlemen.
You can. However, that's so interesting that I just said that, which is true. But I just got off. I host a group meeting of women every Thursday morning. And one of the messages today was like, your life is not meant to be one consistent healing journey. There's always going to be something to work on. There's always going to be something to heal. There's always going to be a mistaken belief to reframe and a, identity shift to take place. But there's also, you have to live. You have to play. You need to enjoy the fact that you're alive. And if you're constantly thinking there's something that needs to be fixed, that doesn't seem very enjoyable to me. So there's a level of effort that's required, and I think it comes in waves. And then also remember to integrate, remember to play, remember to just be happy to be alive and not take yourself so seriously all the time.
I mean, instead of asking you for like a closing comment, I think you nailed it. That was amazing. That was awesome. Yeah. That was awesome.
Fantastic.
So, on that note though, Lauren Fay, thank you so much for being a part of this and wow, a lot of exciting stuff, and I applaud you on making a tough decision and then committing to it, and now being with the portal of, what was it?
Possibility portal.
Possibility portal. I got it backwards, but nonetheless, I mean that's a badass secret. I love it. So thank you so much for your time, and guys, until the next one. This has been The Next Fix. I'm Ryan Penley.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.